Live from the YouTubes. It's Sunday, November 8th, and it's another live stream. That's what we're doing here today. What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about movies and TV and all of those wonderful things. I need you guys in that chat room. Ask me some questions. Don't ask 1,000 questions in a row, but I'll try my best to get to as many as I can today. I appreciate all of the love that you guys are constantly bringing to this channel, and the peoples are coming in the chat room. Orland says, how are you? What's up, Orland? What's going on, man? Hi, there he is. Hey, everybody is coming into the chat room, and we're always getting some good questions. Oh, Steelers are looking good. 7-0, man. If we lose today, we're in big trouble. But yeah, man, things are going good. I cannot wait to talk about movies and everything today. Paul Joseph and Zachary in the chat. And we're going to get to some questions. As always, if you guys have a question that you are dying to ask, be sure to get in that super chat section and ask me a super chat. That assures that the question stays on screen long enough for me to see it. Otherwise, these things are flying by, so I'm going to try to get to as many as I possibly can. But again, guys, for all the love, Paranormal, the new Netflix show, from Egypt. I got some great love on that video. Hopefully some new subscribers from that. And everyone was just so genuine and so nice. And my goodness, I mean, one of the nicest and most, in terms of conversations, just most entertaining comment sections I've had in quite some time, which is why I did a follow-up video talking spoilers. So if you guys haven't watched that show or haven't watched that video, be sure to check it out. But we're going to start with Zach here. He did ask a question when he said hi. Been here since Ant-Man and the Wasp. Very nice. Favorite MCU movie moment that does not involve any of these 6 Avengers. I guess I could cheat and say Guardians of the Galaxy because there are so many moments from both of those movies. I love the moment with Yondu at the end of the second film. I love the dance-off to save the universe. In that Ant-Man, I think there are some great comedic beats in Ant-Man, especially with Michael Peña's character. But yeah, I would say Guardians. Probably the dance-off to save the universe. I know a lot of people didn't like that. And a lot of people didn't love Ronan. I didn't love Ronan, but that scene in particular, I really, really love. I'm a huge fan of. Hi, how's it going, guys? What's your favorite movie plot twist? Well, this isn't my favorite plot twist of all time, but I did put up an Instagram story just now regarding Uncut Gems, the twist that divided a lot of people. I'm a massive fan. One of my favorite twists in a movie in quite some time. I loved it so much. But that's more of a recent twist for sure. All right. We have our first super chat with Daquan, assuring I get to this question. My friend, thank you so much for supporting the channel. As always, give me your top 3 most anticipated MCU shows. Ooh, what a question. What a question. Man, it's going to be hard to put these in order. But let's just go top 3 in general. I think Moon Knight has really moved its way into my top 3. I am so excited to see Oscar Isaac in that role. It wasn't in my top 3 before. It's hard to exclude Loki. But since we kind of know more about WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'm going to go with WandaVision, Falcon, Winter Soldier, and then Moon Knight. Those are probably my top 3. But the more I learn about some of these other ones, the more I'm going to get excited for sure. I just can't wait to see WandaVision. That's the one we've got hopefully coming next month. That's the rumor. And I don't know, hopefully they'll give it to me early. I'm going to ask them, but we'll see. But thank you so much for the super chat, man. Matt says, Austin, my boy, what's up, Matt? As always, man, getting in that chat room. I appreciate it. I love your work. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. I really do. All of your all's love and constant support is awesome. Frank says, are you a fan of Power Rangers? Yeah, man, I grew up with Power Rangers. I love Power Rangers growing up. I mean, the OG, obviously, what was it, Ninja Force or Ninja? That was probably my favorite. Ooh, I like the dinos. Ooh, might be the dinos. I really like the Dino Force. I think that's what it was called. But yeah, I loved Power Rangers. And I didn't hate the new movie, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I didn't hate the movie. But they're not doing a sequel. So that's really unfortunate. Hey, I do think we have the option of a super chat. And then we have the option of Streamlabs, which is in the description down below. And I believe we have our first Streamlabs question of the day. So let's go over here and check out. Oh, yeah, we've got one from Aaron. Let's zoom into this real quick so we can see it. Aaron, who I believe is my boy Aaron. as always, with the love and support. I have recently taken a deep dive into Korean New Wave cinema. Interesting. Just watched the Vengeance trilogy. I've heard of that, actually, by Park Chan-wook, and it might be my favorite trilogy. Wow. Would love for you to review them. Sorry, this is so off Marvel, but you know me. No, man, I've actually heard really good things. When I did my favorite trilogies of all time videos, I heard a lot of support for that trilogy. So you're not the first to mention that, but Korean New Wave cinema, hey, if it's anything like what we got with Parasite, and I know it's a different New Wave cinema, but man, Korean films in general, I just really love, and Korean shows. I mean, across the board, I'm loving what they're doing over there. And just watched a show from Egypt, like I mentioned with Paranormal. So we're getting great international content, and I'm really loving pretty much everything about the last couple of weeks and really the last 2 years, just opening up my world, because I'm normally just watching a lot of American content. And Aaron brings up a good point, and there are a lot of shows and movies all across the landscape of phenomenal and talented filmmakers, actors, directors, this and that. So yeah, man, great point to bring up. Definitely a trilogy I need to check out. And Aaron, as always, I appreciate the support, my friend. TD Review says, have you heard Tom Segura and Burke Kreischer's movie pitch for fat astronauts? No. If so, is it a movie you'd like to see? No, I have not heard of this. Fat astronauts. One could only imagine from Tom and Burke what this is going to be about. Man, I have not heard of this, but that is definitely something I'm going to have to look up. I appreciate the fact that this is a super chat, because this question will save and I'll be able to come back to it. So I will definitely go back and check out and see what the heck Fat Astronauts is. Before we get to the next super chat, let's hit on some chat room questions. What do you think about the Kung Fu Panda trilogy? Oh, I love it. I love it. I didn't love the third movie as much as I love the first two, but I think that's a really under-talked about trilogy. Under-talked about, for sure. Someone says, how old are you? I am 20. Gosh, how old am I? 25. I had to think about it really quick. 25 years old, so I'm a quarter of a way to 100. My grandpa lived to be 104 years old. No joke. He was mowing grass until he was 102. It's pretty crazy. Bandit says, everyone liked the stream. Yeah, if you guys don't know, the goal every single week is to get these streams to 100 likes, which is going to be a difficult challenge, as it is every week. But for all the love and support you guys show, can't thank you enough. I know I always say it, but this means a lot to me. My wife texted me, by the way. This means a lot to me, the interaction back and forth and growing the channel. I think that's what this is all about. We're trying to get to 75K. So if we can get this vid to 100 likes, that would be awesome. Otherwise, I just appreciate you guys tuning in for sure. But thank you so much, Bandit, for helping me out there, man. Thoughts on Juno 2007? Man, it's not one that I go back to per se, but I really liked it when I saw it. I thought it had great performances, interesting direction. It's kind of and I don't mean this in a bad way, it's kind of an awkward movie, but it's built to be an awkward movie. But I enjoyed it. But it's been a while since I have watched it. Let's see. Yeah. Thoughts on Depp getting fired from Fantastic Beasts due to the whole case debacle. All I know is if Warner Brothers is going to do something like this, they better be consistent. That's what I will say. Be consistent, Warner Brothers. Yeah, it's a big disappointment. I feel for Johnny Depp. I really do. We don't know all of the details, obviously, but just from what I've seen, I'm like, okay. But Warner Brothers, I don't know if the Fantastic Beasts trilogy is the most horrible thing to get fired from, because it's not the best trilogy so far. Even though I liked the movie, I just didn't love the second film. But hey, we'll see what happens. We'll see who they replace him with. We'll see if Johnny Depp gets back on his feet. It's a tough situation for sure. Cam on Camera says, going back to Power Rangers, did you hear that Hasbro is going to create a cinematic universe with the super chat? Yeah, Cam, I really I like that idea. Listen, if you're not going to give us a sequel to the first film, which again, I'm a fan of, then I'm okay with that. Give us a cinematic universe, give us something cool, interesting, and different, and we'll just have to see how it turns out. Also, I saw a Hillbilly Elegy. Here we go. The next super chat from Cam. Also, what did you think of Hillbilly Elegy? And what do you think are its Oscar chances? Cam, apologies, man. I know you sent the super chat, but I am not allowed to answer that question just yet. I will be next week when the embargo lifts, which I'm excited to talk about it. I will say that, but I can't tell you why. I'm excited to talk about it. In terms of its Oscar chances, I did my Oscar video this past week, so you can check that out prior to me watching Hillbilly Elegy. I will just say it's going to be an interesting conversation for sure. Run Boy Run. I don't know if I've gotten a chat from you before. New name I recognize. Hi, Austin. What's going on? Let's see. Have you ever seen, oh, yes, Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes? I loved that show. Loved that show. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that was awesome. That was an awesome show. I was so disappointed when it was, I guess it was canceled or whatever. So, yeah, big bummer when that left us. But that was one of my favorite animated shows. For a while, I said it was my favorite Marvel TV show. But you go back to things like, the original Spider-Man in the 90s. I guess that's not the original, but the 90s Spider-Man and the 90s X-Men. But yeah, definitely up there. One of my favorites for sure. Paul Joseph, thank you for the support, Paul, man. I really do appreciate that. Tyler says, in your Letterboxd review of Calm with Horses, you said that you and one of the actors have messaged each other before. How did you get to do that? Barry Coogan. I've actually had a little combo with Barry Coogan before, who is in Marvel's Eternals, which is pretty cool. Yeah, he retweeted me. I followed him. And we had a little message exchange, and I just wished him good luck. And he was a sweet and genuine guy, man. Barry Coogan, how cool, because he was in one of my favorite movies. I believe the tweet that he retweeted was For American Animals when I was just raving about that film. And then we had a nice little convo. So how cool was that, man? What a good guy. Can't wait to see him in Eternals. And rumors that he has a secret role in the Batman. So wonder what that is. I don't know. I mean, I could message him and ask him, but he ain't gonna answer that. So we'll see what that is. Let's see. Austin, please suggest some horror series like The Haunting of Bly Manor. It's funny because The Haunting of Bly Manor, I mean, it's not, necessarily scary, but it is a good horror series in my opinion. Well, heck, I mean, we were talking about Paranormal. I thought that was a pretty good show from this last weekend. That's definitely one I would recommend. And there are quite a few. Marianne, I thought was a good show. And I believe that got canceled after season 1. Yeah, there are quite a few good horror shows on Netflix, for sure. What are your thoughts on the Batman? I can't freaking wait. I am dying to see this movie, y'all. I'm dying. Like, I'm going to be in the theater just like geeking out with everybody else. I can't wait to see this movie, guys. It's, oof, man. Is your Letterboxd 2020 list based off Oscar season or purely 2020 releases? Thanks, Austin. Thank you for the question. Yeah, so that's how it's been every year. But this year, since the Oscars is pushed a few months, I don't think it's going to be the case. I mean, normally if it's an Oscar movie and I see it, in early January, then I'll put it on my year before list. But now that Oscar season is essentially going to go through February, I'm going to have to start putting these kinds of movies on my 2021 list. So it's going to be different this year, as is the world because of the pandemic. But yeah, I don't like it. It hurts my OCD. But that's how it's got to be. Let's see. What fictional character other than Prince Zuko? I like that because I was going to pick Prince Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Do you think has the best redemption? Oh man, I mean, we could go with Uncle, but was he ever really the bad guy? No, we could go with Toph. Not really redemption. She started out as kind of I don't like her very much, but she ended up being one of my favorite characters. Man, that's tough. Redemption arc. Man, I don't know, because Zuko, to me, the standout, the pure standout from that story, I think even over maybe Aang, is Zuko's story. One of the best redemption story arcs I've ever seen. Oh man, I don't know if I can put anyone over top of him. I will say though, when we do get the Netflix show, I think the essential casting, hopefully my camera doesn't go out again. I got to get a new HDMI cable. Hopefully they can nail the casting, because I think Zuko is going to be the most essential casting of that show. If you don't nail that and make us fear Zuko in the beginning, but then believe he has that turn at the end, it's going to be really, really tough to love that show like I think they want us to. So hopefully they nail that. But yeah, Zuko, man, that's really tough to beat. What's your favorite sci-fi fantasy? I could go the easy route with something like a Star Wars or something like Planet of the Apes or Lord of the Rings. In terms of, let's go underrated sci-fi fantasy. What's a good underrated one? Man, well, I know this isn't underrated, but I really like the J.J. Abrams Star Trek. I like the new 3 movies. I know he didn't direct all three, but I really like the route that they're going with those films. And who knows, maybe it continues, maybe it's over, maybe it was just a trilogy, but I think those are some nice underrated. If you're not into the old Star Trek, then I think you're going to really enjoy these new 3 movies if you've never seen them. So that's some of my favorite modern sci-fi fantasy. But again, Planet of the Apes trilogy, the new one, and then Star Wars for sure. Ewan says embargo on the 10th for you as well. I assume you're talking about Hillbilly Elegy. Yeah, I think it's the 10th. I think it's the 10th. So don't know if the 10th is the day I will review it. Maybe the day before it comes out. But yeah, man, I'm excited to talk about it for sure. Let me make sure this cord's working here. I don't want to lose you guys. There we go. I probably will. It'll go dark, but that's okay. Horror movie you can recommend right now. One that I checked out recently, The Descent. I think The Descent is a good movie. I wasn't overwhelmed or astounded by it, but I really liked it. So I think that's one that I heard about for a long time. I think I'd seen parts of, but then I finally sat down and watched the entire thing. It's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. So be sure to check out The Descent if you get the chance. Are you a fan of RoboCop? Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm probably not as maybe big of a fan as a lot of people are of the original RoboCop. I just think it's a fun movie. The remake, I don't remember that much of it. I remember, kind of enjoying it. I didn't think it was the worst thing ever, but we'll see where they go with that franchise, because whether it's a reboot or a remake, I know it's a franchise that isn't over yet. Zachary says, watch a movie with, review a movie with, and make a movie with. Ooh, Sean Chandler, Ryan O'Toole, 3C Films. Well, I've already watched a movie with 3C Films. So I will say I want to make a movie with 3C Films because he's probably one of my best buds on YouTube. He is one of my best buds on YouTube. I will say, I don't know if Ryan and I have reviewed a movie together. I know we've reviewed separate and combined reviews. I think that would be super fun. I just want to watch a movie with Sean Chandler, man. I think that would be so much fun. The discussion afterwards, having a good conversation with him, which I've had multiple. But in terms of watching a film, getting that experience, I think that would be super fun. But yeah, 3C Films, we've already watched, we've already reviewed, and we haven't made a movie, so we got to make a movie together one of these days. Let's see. All right. Rudy. Not my favorite movie, but I'm so excited. The Irish of Notre Dame. I could watch Heaven's Gate and still be in heaven. Yeah, the Notre Dame, man. What a game last night. Not a lot of social distancing in the post game, but what a game last night. What a man, an accomplishment by Notre Dame. Even though, backup quarterback, but still the guy threw 3-4 TDs and last 2 games he's played phenomenal. So yeah, that was awesome. Let's see. Oh, we got another Streamlabs, I believe. Oh, we do. Thank you for letting me know. So let's put that up on the screen here. Yes, G1 Lee says, got 2 questions. What's your favorite Sean Connery performance and movie? And what's your thoughts on The Rock? It's a pretty underrated movie, especially for Michael. But yeah, I think The Rock is great. I think it may be his best film, to be honest with you. It's really, really fun, entertaining. In terms of his best role, I know a lot of people say The Hunt for Red October, and I just love him in The Last Crusade. He makes that movie for me. Obviously, you have Indy, but man, he is so good. So I've got to go The Last Crusade. Greatest James Bond, great in Hunt for Red October. I even liked him in, what was the kind of flat-fallen superhero movie in the early 2000s, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, even though that movie wasn't great. But, man, I got to go with Last Crusade, man. I just think he's so good. Chi-Wan Lee, thank you so much for the Streamlabs. And by the way, if anybody has Streamlabs, and that's an easier route than Super Chat, the link is in the description right now. But thanks for letting me know, man. Let's go. Did you grow up with Dragon Ball Z, says Frank? Yeah, man, I loved Dragon Ball Z. I was a huge fan of that show. A huge fan of the characters. I saw a statue the other day, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. This is our chance to geek out together. I saw a statue the other day. Oh, my goodness. A big old Goku. It was like $2,000. I'm like, would that be worth it? It wouldn't be worth it in terms of money because we're trying to buy a house, but would that be worth it for me? Yes, it would. So I really want that eventually, maybe one of these days when I'm rich. My goodness, that would be awesome. Let's keep going here, guys. Want to make sure I do not miss this super chat from TJT Reviews. Do you collect Blu-rays, full collection vids? So I wouldn't use the term collect. I'm cheap. No, I only buy Blu-rays of movies that I love. We're talking 9s and 10s out of 10s, right? And even then, I don't buy all the Blu-rays. So when there's something really special that I'm a huge fan of, I'll buy it on Blu-ray. Otherwise, I'll just rent something or buy it on digital. But it all comes down to the fact that I just invest my money in other places for the most part. I have a lot of Blu-rays. But I don't know if I have enough for an entertaining collection video of sorts. I put it in pop figures because these things are only $10, man. 10 bucks a pop. My pun game is strong, but yeah. And again, we're saving up for a house, so I'm trying to save it up a little bit. But yeah, one of these days I will do a Blu-ray vid, though. I just want to make sure the collection is good enough for YouTube standards before I do a full one, because I think I do have close to enough to do an entertaining one. Have you watched Riverdale? Should I start watching it, or can you suggest me something else? So my wife's a huge fan. She would recommend Riverdale. It's fine. I think it's got its own audience. It's a very CW show, which is okay. Like, I loved The Flash. I love The 100. I love Supernatural. There are a lot of great shows under the CW banner, but there's always something about them that not a lot of people like. So we will see if I can get to it and maybe finish it eventually. But it's a solid show. I'll say that, but it's just not one that I often find myself going back to. I would say, from what I've seen, the Sabrina show on Netflix, which is essentially in the same universe, is better because it goes a bit harder in the paint. You know what I mean? It's just more mature, which I enjoy. But even that show is kind of not as good as it used to be. So two interesting shows in the same universe. Have you seen Attack on Titan? Yes, so good. I can't wait. Should I review this new season? Are you guys fans of Attack on Titan? If you think I should review this new season, let me know, because it's so good. And I've not reviewed it on this channel, and it's disappointing, but it's so good. So, yeah, we'll see. Do you like Terminator 2? One of my top 50 movies of all time. I love Terminator 2. I think it's fantastic. So it is a franchise that I enjoy, but it is a movie, that and Terminator 1, that I'm just a huge fan of. Let's keep going here, guys. Taking a little breath as we move forward here. Most underrated Disney animated film. Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Oh, what a wonderful. And you know what? Even the new Pooh movie. The new Pooh movie. P-O-O-H. Not P-O-O. That movie was really good. I just really like those characters. I do. It's a show that I grew up with. When the storybook opens, I get a lot of nostalgia. And I just think it's great. So those characters are fantastic. Most underrated Disney film, in my opinion, it's The Emperor's New Groove. It is in my top 5 Disney movies. I love that movie. Not enough talk about Emperor's New Groove. Let's see. Let's keep going here, guys. Hey, Austin, have you watched anime? I never watched any, but recently started. Oh, I've heard Hunter v. Hunter is great. I've heard that show is great. I've watched a little bit because I got some recommendations. So when I find time, I'm going back to it, because what I've seen is really, really good. And yes, Attack on Titan, One Punch Man, Dragon Ball Z, obviously, but that's kind of like everybody knows that. A couple that I need to get to, though. My favorite movie is Spirited Away. It's a great one. And Princess Mononoke and Kira, a lot of really good ones. Just watched Palm Springs. Yes, one of my favorite movies of the year. Recommended it to my parents. So let's see if they watch it. Let's see. Derek says, can you reschedule the live stream to Saturday evening? Is much more convenient for us simpletons. Unfortunately, Derek, I'm normally busy on Saturdays, whether it's, making up for the lost content on Friday, or watching things, or, I got to spend some time with the wife. It's like obligation. It's an obligation that I love, but it's an obligation. Sunday's like the most convenient for me. But who knows? Maybe I'll do some random live streams here and there. And it used to be a little bit later in the day, but football. I'm a Steelers fan, and they're undefeated, so I gotta keep it on the time that it's on. Let's see. Jay says, "Are you looking forward to Mrs. Marvel?" Yes, I am, or Miss Marvel, not Mrs. Yeah, I am. I can't wait. I can't wait for the show. Thank you for the super chat, Chase. I really like the girl that they cast. I think she looks the part. We'll see if she acts the part. I think her letterbox is funny. I went on there, looked at some of her reviews, but I'm excited for this. I want to know more about it before I put it in my most anticipated, but as of now, just the casting and who they got behind the camera, I think it's going to be really cool. Let's see. 123 Rock fan, as always, thank you so much. Do you think the traditional animation style of Studio Ghibli will be around for much longer? I hope it stays around for a long time. Well, we know that Ghibli is doing a brand new movie, not in that animation style, but it is an animation style that, especially for that studio, they really, really just conquer. They master that animation style. It is beautiful. Every single film is amazing, whether it looks amazing or the story itself is awesome. But I hope it stays around, man. Even something like Princess and the Frog, it feels like we're going back to classic films, and that movie's only how many years old? I mean, I hope we get some more films like that for sure. Another one that I really liked recently was Wolf Walkers, which is coming to Amazon Prime, I believe. No, Apple TV. Apple TV. Not the classic animation that we're used to, but it is a good-looking movie with a similar animation, but one that's very distinct. So Wolf Walkers, when you guys get a chance to see that on Apple Plus, be sure to check it out. By the way, guys, if we could not, sorry, I hate to be like this, but not ask the same question multiple times just because it's really hard to see the other questions, but every couple minutes is fine. By the way, if you guys are enjoying this, let me know. We're going to keep doing this, and we're going to go for probably 30, 35 more minutes. I say that it'll probably be 3 more hours. Let's keep going here. Let's see. Hey, Austin, movies that are most overrated. I've talked about this a couple times. I always say the same one. I say, still like Mean Streets. I think it's a little bit overrated. Like the Mist and Your Next. That's the same thing. But there are some movies, if you guys have me on Letterboxd, that I do believe are a bit overrated. Let's go. I saw a good one who disliked the live stream. Probably the same guy that does it to all my videos when I first post. He's got my notifications on. So at least he's got my notifications on. Thanks, bro. I also think he has multiple accounts, but we'll get into that another day. Let's keep going here. Sutton says, sorry, man. Oh, by the way, thank you for that. Sutton says, I love your content. Are you considering making a special video leading up to the release of Soul, or are you planning to do a review? Interesting. Thank you, Sutton. I am a really, my wife's in the chat room. I'll get her just a second. I am a really, really big fan of Pixar. This will not be leading up to the release, but it will be kind of a celebration of the release. I'm planning on maybe doing a spoiler review for Soul, or we may do that on Film Strippers, myself and 3C Films. And then maybe doing a re-ranking of the Pixar films. So going back through, I haven't done that in a while. I didn't do it with Onward. So I want to do more than just one video. I'll tell you that, because I think Soul is going to be a big release on Disney Plus, a big release. So thank you for your super chat. And I cannot wait for this movie, son. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Let's see. Ryan says, have you seen Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story? Love you, channel. Ryan, thank you so much, man. I think that movie's hilarious. I think it's, maybe not the most well put together movie I've ever seen, but it's so funny. It's very satirical. We've seen these kind of tropes play so many times before in movies like this. And I just think Walk Hard is one of those movies that you go back, you watch, and John C. Reilly, man. John C. Reilly is such a good actor. I know, he doesn't get, but this is a guy that's been in a movie like Magnolia, okay? This is a guy that's had some Oscar-caliber performances, so I think he's a great actor, and I think Walk Hard is a hilarious movie. My wife says, wow, you're extremely handsome. You're just saying that. Do you want something from me? Are you married? Am I? See, I know I'm not wearing my ring, but I took it off. For the live stream. Don't know why. Honey, I love you. Are you single? No? Are you married? Okay, well, I'll text you and see how you're doing a little bit later. Appreciate my wife watching the chat. She's never watched a video of mine before. Let's see. Madison sliding in the chat room. Marvel has so many great directors. Yeah, they do. I mean, even if you're not a huge fan of Marvel, man, they've got from Jon Favreau to the Russo brothers, who I think are big because of Marvel, to Taika Waititi. I mean, my goodness, you look at just the sheer level of talent from all of these directors. You can't quite find a nice group of people elsewhere that can overmatch the power of these Marvel directors. What's the most proudest review? So the review that I'm the most proud of that I've ever made. I'm proud of a lot of reviews. I loved my Parasite review. I loved my Lighthouse review. I've loved some of my Netflix reviews, and I don't say I love them in terms of, oh, I did such a good job, but just displaying my thoughts in a way that I think kind of, makes the most sense or really gets my full love, dislike, whatever it is for the movie. I'm really proud of a couple of those reviews just because I think I hashed my thoughts out and kind of laid it out. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. I just ramble. So those are the reviews I look back on. I'm like, dude, you could have cut that by like 1 minute. I think people would have been better off. But no, I always go back to my reviews for the most part just to catch up on some comments and to see what you guys are saying. But after I make a video and I watch it while editing, I never watch them again. That's just how I am. I don't like watching myself because I get to see enough of it while I'm cutting clips in the editing room. By the way, I use Final Cut Pro to edit my videos. A little bit of Adobe Premiere, but Final Cut Pro. So if you guys are ever wondering that, I think it's a great platform. Let's see. Top 10 shows you grew up with from Frank. Frank, I don't mean to keep clicking on you, man. It's the questions I keep coming across. Yeah, I really loved Fresh Prince of Bel-Air growing up. These are shows that I don't think you guys would know. Let's throw in a Jackie Chan Adventures. I thought that animated show was so great. Static Shock, so much fun. Pokemon, the original Pokemon. I say Pokemon because I'm from Kentucky. Pokemon is fantastic. Man, just a lot of shows that I've not really had a chance to talk about. So some really good animated shows, and then like I said, Fresh Prince and Seinfeld. Watched a lot of Friends growing up, and then recently, last 10 years, The Office. That's pretty much all I watch in terms of comedy. That Parks and Rec. So Paul Joseph says 1 like in this video increases the chances for Trial of the Chicago 7 getting the Oscars. I wish that's how it worked, man. I wish that's how it worked. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Kirtan says, I have no idea about Star Wars, how to start. So you can do 2 things. You can go release order. Or you can go chronological order. And for chronological order, just do a simple Google search. It'll tell you. I normally tell people to just kind of ingest it the way that we ingested it. Release order, I think, is a pretty fun way to do it. But I've done it both ways, and both really work for me. So it's however you want to do it. But you can always just kind of start, the original, A New Hope, move your way through, watch it how we all watched it, or just do it the way that it's, I guess, the universe intends it to be. But they will continue to fill the gaps via Disney Plus as we go along with Obi-Wan and now the Boba Fett show, which is interesting to say the least. Did you grow up with the X-Men animated series? Yeah, both. I liked Evolution. I liked the original, the OG. I think both are fantastic. And I actually may, in terms of what I watched more, even though I know the theme from X-Men was great, I may have watched X-Men Evolution a bit more when I was younger, which is crazy. I think they're both outstanding, though. So, and then there was the other one, Wolverine and the X-Men, or X-Men and the Wolverine. I think that was a great show as well. So I'm a huge fan of X-Men on TV. Have you watched David Attenborough, A Life on Planet Earth? If so, what did you think? No, I haven't watched that yet, but I've heard really, really good things. David Attenborough, one of the greatest voices of all time. I wish he could narrate my life, but he can't. But man, I really want to check that out because what a legacy he's going to leave. What a legacy. What is the best detective movie in your opinion? Detective movie. Man, I'd put Knives Out up there. I'd put Knives Out up there for sure. I really like Robert Downey's Sherlock Holmes. Really like Robert Downey Sherlock Holmes. I like Benedict's Sherlock, which is great. So there's been some really Sherlock is the best show. How weird was that? Yeah, that's some really, really good detective things. And of course, Clue. A lot of people say Clue's a classic. So Clue. Yeah, Daredevil's rights might come back to Marvel Studios this month. I guess we'll see what Marvel's going to do. We don't know. I have a feeling they're going to utilize this character very heavily eventually. Robert says release order in terms of Star Wars. Yeah, that's a good way to do it, Robert. Liked any limited series this year? Well, the one right off the bat is Queen's Gambit. I thought Queen's Gambit was outstanding. Thought about it more and just continued to love it more and more. So I think it's a great show. Just play the Lego game. Yeah, that's true. It does move all through the trilogy. By the way, the Lego Star Wars special, I did get a screener for that. So let me know if you guys would like to see a review. I'm debating it. But if you would, I'm definitely going to do it. Paranormal series. Yeah, well, we were talking about good horror series earlier. That's a good one. I really, really enjoyed Paranormal. Tyler Van says, have you seen any Peter Jackson films? Apologies. Before Lord of the Rings. Also, I think I'm the only person who really likes his movie, The Lovely Bones. So, Tyler, I'll say this. Not a huge fan of The Lovely Bones. My wife is a massive fan of The Lovely Bones. We watched the movie one day. I was like, yeah, she loved it. So you are not alone in that sentiment. I think she would definitely stand up for your thoughts and feelings there. Favorite Hanna-Barbera cartoon? Oh, it's the Flintstones. No doubt in my mind, it's the Flintstones. I just love that show. I bought the Flintstones DVD collection. I kid you not, the Flintstones DVD collection growing up. And it had every season. It's one of those flippable things where it opens up and you have 4 discs, and then you got 4 more discs, and then 4 more discs. I loved that show so much. So there's another one that I grew up with. What are your thoughts on the Seinfeld finale? I think they dropped the ball. Yeah, I think it dropped the ball too. I didn't love the Seinfeld finale. Love the show. You know, it's not a huge deal that I didn't love the finale. But I think that's how it is with a lot of shows is, you know, whether it's the last season or the finale, just kind of, that's why when you get something like Breaking Bad, you don't take it for granted because it's not every day a show ends like that. How much content does Madison watch with you? Quite a bit. I mean, normally not the things that I review sometimes, but normally we're rewatching old movies or we're watching TV shows. We watch a lot of cooking shows, a lot of Gordon Ramsay. So when I do get a little bit of free time, we tend to watch things like that together. She is not a huge fan of The Office, and I am not a huge fan of Criminal Minds. So, I mean, it's fine, but she's a massive fan. So when we do those things, we're kind of separate. So, but yeah, we watch a lot of things together. Who's the better actress, Florence Pugh or Saoirse Ronan? Wow. I think at this point you got to say Saoirse Ronan because I think she's just done more of note. But who's my favorite of the two? Honestly, it's Florence Pugh. I just really like her charisma and her charm. And I'm not going to say she's better than Saoirse Ronan because I don't think she is at this point. But I got to go Florence Pugh, man. I just love her. Every time she's on screen, from, you know, Little Women to Midsommar, I think she's fantastic. I can't wait to see her in Black Widow. I can't wait. Let's see. What's your favorite anime show? I won't say show. That's tough. Probably Attack on Titan for show. But in terms of an individual season, it's One Punch Man. Season 1. That's, in my opinion, the greatest anime season of television I've ever seen. It's so good. So recommendation from me. How would you feel if Ahsoka isn't done justice in The Mandalorian? Yeah, I'd be upset, Derek. I'd be really upset, man. I want it to be good. It better be good. I'm going to be upset if it's not good. We're going to get mad because that's what Star Wars fans do. We get mad. I'll be fine. I won't get that upset. But I'll be pretty pissed. But I won't reveal that I'm pretty pissed. I'll just be like, yeah, whatever. I hope it's good. I really hope it's good. Let's see. I love this. I know I already love it. I haven't even read it. If you could cast Javier Bardem in any DC Marvel movie as my screen goes black and I disappear from all existence, all you can hear is my voice. I'm just a figment of your imagination. I'm an enigma. That's what I am. Let's try to fix this as we answer. What would it be? Javier Bardem. I gotta go Doctor Doom. Man. I just think he is phenomenal. As an actor, I think he has what it takes to play a Doctor Doom as I'm scrunching around my tape. Yeah, I think Doctor Doom is definitely the one. Let's see. Is this going to work? Yes. There it is. Bada bing, bada boom. We're back. But how do you guys feel? Do you think he would be a good Doctor Doom? That's probably my choice, to be honest with you, right now is Javier Bardem for Doctor Doom. I love that so much. Yeah, talking about bad endings, cough, cough, Game of Thrones. Yeah, someone said it. See you later, Austin. Yeah, I kind of disappeared. I was a figment. We did hit on Moon Knight earlier in the show, but yeah, man, Oscar Isaac is Moon Knight. Give me all of them. I'm gonna be tuned in for all of them. Let's see. Thoughts on Free Guy being delayed? Yeah, disappointing for sure. I was really hoping to see Free Guy this year. I thought, maybe Ryan Reynolds, maybe you'll stick to it, and you didn't. And it's not coming out. Neither is a lot of movies, so it's unfortunate. Top 3 Matt Reeves films. Oh man, top three is tough. I liked Cloverfield, but I gotta go the first two, Planet of the Apes. Let's go Dawn and War. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, War of the Planet of the Apes. By the way, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love that movie so much. I thought it was epic. It was the Empire Strikes Back of monkey movies, apes movies, whatever you want to call it. So good. So good. I like this favorite Disney Channel sitcoms. Oh, so what a sweet question. Let's see. You know what? I would be lying if I didn't say I grew up with Hannah Montana and Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and That's So Raven. I mean, it would be a lie, and I don't want to lie to you. I liked Lizzie McGuire a little bit, it's a tiny bit before my time. Just kind of like, I wasn't a teenager at the time, but I could appreciate it. But man, I was like the same age as Zack and Cody. And there was this girl. Let me tell you a story. There was this girl in elementary school, and I thought she was the cutest thing ever. I'm like, she's going to be my girlfriend. And then she came up to me one day, and she's like, I am madly in love with Dylan and Cole Sprouse. And my heart just broke that day. So forever, I was jealous of Dylan and Cole Sprouse. But they were also really good, and I love Zack and Cody. What a fun show. So that's kind of one of the shows that I grew up with. Let's see. Team Rainbow says, you inspired me to go watch 9 Days on Friday. Interesting. It's coming out on Friday wherever you are, so I would say limited release. You're going to like that. You're going to really like that. It's a very good movie. What's your favorite Steven Spielberg? It is Saving Private Ryan. Let's list. I almost said Schneider's List for some reason, and then Jaws. Those are kind of my top three, give and take, but Private Ryan is numero uno and has been for a long time. Let's see here. I've got apologies. I got a little cough. Robert says, have you thought about joining the 31 on 31 event with Sean, Cody, and the rest of the the Autop stream crew? Yeah, I've watched a couple of their videos, man. Super fun. Because I would have to go back. Well, first of all, I wasn't invited, but that's fine. That's what they're doing over there is really, really great. I'm really enjoying it. It's just a lot of movies to watch, man. It's a lot of movies to watch and catch up on, and so many new releases. And I think part of the problem with doing something like that for me is I do a lot of TV shows, and that just kind of takes up all my time. But I've really enjoyed it. I watched the most recent one where they did the live stream. And I've watched Sean's videos, so they got some good stuff over there, man. Really, really fun. Let's see. You belonged to which country, bro? You can tell me. No need to ignore. I ain't seen anything. This is my first one I've seen. But belong to which country? United States. That's where I'm at. I'm in good old, wait for it, good old Kentucky. You like this? I just bought it this week. I buy a lot of Kentucky shirts. I like to represent the Kentucky Wildcats, because my wife works at UK Hospital and I'm a fan. So let's see. Austin, I got cut for a bit there. Why? Yeah, the camera. I need a new HDMI cord. So Taylor says, how are you doing? It's 3:15 a.m. Taylor, man, I appreciate you watching, my friend. Listen, if you're tired, just ignore me. Go back to sleep. But I really appreciate you watching big time. Let's see. Let's get to some more questions here. Man, these things are flying by. I love all of the interactions in here. Team Rainbow says, okay, so I was wondering how you were seeing 9 Days. Stockholm Film Festival is showing it with COVID restrictions, of course. Very nice. Well, then I think you're going to really enjoy the experience. It's going to be cool to see that in the theater. It's a movie I can't wait to see in a theater. I got a screener for it via film festival, but that is awesome. Let's see. I like this. We'll get into some of these before this, but what's your go-to tailgate food, man? Man, go-to tailgate food. I like a good bratwurst. Give me a good bratwurst with all the works. Man, I love a good hot dog. I don't know what it is, but the bratwursts, yes, any form of a hot dog within two buns, I'm a big fan of. And put some chili on there and some coleslaw. Oh, man, that's some good tailgate food for sure. I miss tailgating. That is the truth. How excited are you for The Green Knight, which is the brand new A24 film? I'm so excited. I can't wait. I just love A24. Still haven't seen Saint Maud. Haven't had the opportunity. I want to see that. I want to see what Green Knight's going to do. Man, I think both these movies are going to be great. Orland says, have you heard of the new Israeli series Valley of Tears? I've watched the first 4 episodes, and I've got to say, these episodes are the best pieces of television I have ever seen. So let's see, Valley of Tears. I'm gonna search that real quick. I know this is creating dead air, but I'm very interested. Valley of Tears. So this is so it says HBO Max. Yeah, I have heard of this show. Wow, 9.6 on IMDb. My goodness. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to check this out. With ratings this high and word of mouth from Orland and others like that. So, yeah, definitely one that I want to watch when I get time. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thoughts on Johnny Depp? We already talked about a little bit earlier in the show, but yeah, really unfortunate. I mean, we'll have to see what they do, but Warner Brothers, I said it before, I'll say it again. They better be consistent in terms of what they're doing. Yo, Austin, big fan of yours, been making a movie list to watch because there's nothing else to do because of COVID-19. What do you recommend? Well, if you guys have seen these streams before, you know what I'm going to say. Sing Street. Sing Street is my first recommendation. American Animals is my next recommendation. I believe you can rent Sing Street. American Animals should be on HBO. Let's go. Well, if you've never seen a movie like Parasite or some of the greats from last year, like Marriage Story, Uncut Gems, I think those are some great films. Let's go one more random one. Let's go Begin Again. Let's keep it in the John Carney family and Begin Again with Mark Ruffalo and Keira Knightley. I think those are some fun, lighthearted, sweet movies and ones that'll put you in a good mood during the pandemic. So I think those are some great movies to start out with. Will all Regal theaters be open again very soon from Tony? Tony, I love your profile picture, by the way. It's hilarious. Yeah, I don't know. I hope so. I hope things get back on track. We'll have to see. But, I mean, as of right now, the Cinemark near me is still open, but Regal theaters, man, I just, such a bummer. Paranormal, do you want Netflix to do another Egyptian series after Paranormal? Yes, I really liked what I saw. Good stuff all the way around, a different technique. And that's one thing that I love about watching content from other countries, because you can see all of the different techniques used, whether it's in a TV show or a movie or in terms of camera placement, camera movement, the way that the actors interact. But I really liked what I saw, and I thought it did a great job of establishing tone. So yeah, if I get if I get another series, whatever country it's from, but especially another series from Egypt, I would be very, very excited. By the way, guys, again, try not to ask the same question 7 times in a row, just because it's, gets tough for the other questions, but I'll try to get to some of them. Let's see. Thoughts on Ex Machina and Annihilation. Both great movies. I think Ex Machina is astounding. I think Annihilation is underrated. I think it's an underrated movie. It was one of my favorite. I believe it's moved into maybe my top 10 of that year. I loved it. I really did. I thought it was such a cool experience. Have you watched Ghoul on Netflix? No. I think Ghoul was either one that I missed or another one. No, I haven't seen Ghoul. So yeah, that's definitely one that I miss. It's rare when I miss a show because I watch a lot of shows, but Ghoul is not one that I've seen. By the way, guys, we're going to go for about, let's say about 10, 15 more minutes. If we could get this video to 100 likes, that would be awesome. Just again, it helps push the video out, and we're trying to make it to 75K. But again, I appreciate just you guys coming on, all of the interaction. You all have been lovely so far, asking some phenomenal questions. So before this stream ends, we're going to try to hit that mark. Bandit, always, man. You help me, man. That's what I like. Tom Pelfrey for MCU Wolverine. I like it, man. I've been hearing some good things. About that fan casting. So I think it would be sweet. Who would be the best Wolverine, though? Man, that's tough. I know a lot of people are saying Logan Marshall Green because it's like the off-brand Tom Hardy, but man, that's a tough one. Let's keep going here, guys. I am going to choose. Let's go ahead. Rich Boys asked this question a lot, so I'm going to answer it. What are your thoughts on Young Sheldon season 4? Haven't seen the show, so I can't respond to it. But I've heard it's a good show. So let's keep going here, guys. Favorite Joker? It's kind of a cheat code. Listen, I loved Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, and he made a discussion all I wanted. Oh, by the way, we hit 100 likes. My goodness. Thank you guys so much for helping this video out. Because really, I know it sounds stupid, but it really does make a difference on the YouTubes. It helps push the video out. And Team Rainbow says, I don't know how this channel hasn't reached 100K yet. We're going for it, Team Rainbow. We're going to hit it. But the fact that Joaquin Phoenix made it a discussion is the best thing. The fact that we have two Jokers that won an Oscar is crazy. So I think it's very close. I still got to go Heath. And Joaquin's a very close second. I still think Jack Nicholson's awesome. Mark Hamill is also in the discussion of number one. So don't throw out Mark Hamill. But in terms of just live action, I think those are my two, Heath Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix. Oh, we have someone new. Hey, I'm new to the channel and the stream. Man, thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you being here. We're doing this every Sunday at 11, asking questions. I'm going to be answering them. We've gotten some great questions so far, and I just love your all's interaction and whatever video you're helping out, supporting, leaving the thumbs up button on, or just commenting. It really helps out so much. So this is my gig. This is my full-time gig. So I appreciate that. Austin, have you seen Sponge on the Run? No, it released everywhere but the U.S. So I haven't seen it. I also need to reach out to, I believe it's Universal, to see if I can get a screener for it. They did send me a screener for Freaky. So if you guys are excited for Blumhouse's new movie, Freaky, I've seen it. I tweeted about it at the Burkenator on Twitter. If you guys have Twitter, by the way, I tweet movie memes. I'm so cringe. I tweet movie memes. I like movie memes. So if you guys like Twitter things, then get on Twitter. But yeah, I've seen Freaky. I'm going to do a review this week. Cannot wait to tell you guys if this movie is worth watching or not. I may have already spoiled it with my review on Letterboxd. Have you seen Mirzapur? Yeah, I watched season 1 in preparation for season 2, and to be honest with you, I was out of town when season 2 came out. Unfortunately, did not get a screener for it, which is my fault. I forgot to request a screener for it, but I am going to watch season 2. I don't know if I'm ever going to do a review, probably when we get a season 3. But yeah, I just missed the boat on that, man. That was my bad. That was my bad. So thank you for the question. I appreciate it. And I'll take the fall for that one, because watch season 1 in preparation, and it's unfortunate. Let's see. While you have many Indian subs, including me, the support from all of you all it's unprecedented how much love I get from you guys on the channel. So it would not run without you all, and how wonderful and sweet you guys are. So, and that includes everyone. But yes, I do have so many subs from any on this channel. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Let's see. Arnov says, who is your favorite actor? Man, I've got a lot. It's hard. Sorry. It's hard not to go with someone like Daniel Day-Lewis. It's hard not to go with someone like Leo. I grew up as a big Jim Carrey fan. I mean, a massive, massive Jim Carrey fan. I loved everything he did, his range from comedies to Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And then you've got the very clear and evident method acting that he gets into. And sometimes, you push that a little far, but I think Jim Carrey's awesome. Right now, currently, I think it's Jake Gyllenhaal. You got Nightcrawler, you got Prisoners, you got a range of different. I mean, he was in a Marvel movie as Mysterio, could be in another Marvel movie as Mysterio. So we'll just have to see where his career goes. But as of right now, I'm a huge fan of Jake Gyllenhaal. Huge fan. I want to see some epic series. I'd want to watch Blood of Zeus. Would you recommend it? Well, you can check out my review when I was out of town and just so happened to finish the final 2 episodes of Blood of Zeus. I would recommend it. I would recommend it. To see how far that goes, check out my review, but I would definitely recommend that. Let's keep going here, guys. Before we want to make sure I don't have any super chats before we wrap up. We got about 5 more minutes. Nope, no super chats. Back to the chat room. Let's see what's in here. Favorite Studio Ghibli movie? Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, My Neighbor Totoro are probably my top 3. I don't think I'm missing any there. But beyond that, I mean, the top 10 could be some of the greatest animated movies of all time, but those are just my top 10. Mank Hype. So excited for Mank, y'all. I'm so excited. I've seen some great reviews. Netflix hasn't sent any screeners yet, though. But as soon as they do, man, you can expect a review from me. I may actually wait closer to that. I lied to you. I may wait closer to the release, but expect a review for me for sure. Let's see. Favorite Spider-Man? Man, it's tough because I grew up a Tobey. I was a Tobey stan. Is that how you say it? Is that how the kids say it? I was a huge Tobey Maguire fan, but I think the best Spider-Man, is Tom Holland. You know, maybe he doesn't have the best movies according to a lot of people, but Tom Holland, I think he just rocks the role. Tobey Maguire brings different things, and I like Andrew Garfield, man. I think to be a fan of Spider-Man, you don't have to choose a specific one. You can be a fan of all of them, and that's kind of how I am. Each has their quirks. I just think the most comic accurate one is Tom Holland, even though his movies are probably the least comic accurate, funny enough. So it's just kind of a mix and match. Darshpool says, had a lot of fun with the stream, Austin. It's like 1 a.m. for me. Very awesome. Thank you so much for staying up and watching. Get you some sleep though, man. We'll do this again next week. Tune in early, but I appreciate it big time. Most overrated MCU movie. For a while I said Guardians 2, but the more I watch it, the more I'm like, okay, it's actually, I think as good as everybody says. Probably Ant-Man and the Wasp, only because if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes score for that, I think it was higher than Infinity War, which to me was kind of like, So, but I like the movie, and I wouldn't say Captain Marvel because I didn't love Captain Marvel, but I think it's just properly rated. I know some are really angry at it because, but I didn't like it. I didn't love it, but I think it's rated. Some movies are just rated. They're not overrated. They're not underrated. They're just where they should be. And I think bottom of the MCU, but I don't think too many people love it for me to say, oh, it's an overrated film. Best movie for Jim Carrey. Good question, by the way. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, I believe, is his best performance. It's spectacular, man. I love that movie so much. It really proved to me that Jim Carrey can do everything. Everything. I mean, just phenomenal. Has Tenet affected your standing of your favorite director? Honestly, if you guys don't know, if you're new to the channel, for a while, it's been Denis Villeneuve and Christopher Nolan. And I think it's still there. We're about where it should be, with Villeneuve being just an auteur, the master of his craft, and Chris Nolan being more in the blockbuster territory and more successful movies, obviously. Tenet didn't quite put him over Villeneuve for me because I expected Tenet to be maybe a bit better than it was, but I still loved it. It's still my top 10 of the year. I think it's a great movie, but right where it is. We'll see how Dune affects it, though, because if Dune is a bust, maybe Nolan overtakes him. We'll just have to see. Worst, Tyler, I like this. Worst Jim Carrey performance. Well, not saying The Grinch. That's blasphemy. I love The Grinch. I know some people don't. Dumb and Dumber 2, I still think he was great, even though I didn't love the movie. Man, it's tough. Because can anybody think of a really bad Jim Carrey movie? I know he hasn't done a lot of great recently, but every role that I think for Jim Carrey, he's good. Even if the movie's bad, he's good. Man, that's tough. Let me know your guys' thoughts, and maybe I'll agree with somebody in the comments. Before we do that, I want to do LZ saying, RNA24 fan. One of my favorite studios, maybe my favorite. If so, what is your favorite movie? That is Hereditary, Uncut Gems, and what's number 3? I can't think of number 3 right now. Hereditary and Uncut Gems, though. That's 1 and 2. Faux show. Florida Project. I believe that's number 3. And 8th Grade. Swip Swap. Swippy Swappy. Both of those are great. But yes, also, have you looked into The Northman by Robert Eggers? Didn't one of the actors recently come out and say it's one of the scariest things I've ever been a part of? I can't wait for this movie. Robert Eggers, what you did with The Lighthouse, my friend. Listen, I really like The Witch. I'm not saying it's a masterpiece like some other people are. I'm not there on it. But I think The Lighthouse is closer to a masterpiece. I think it's phenomenal. Just not a scary horror film. But The Northman looks astounding. I believe that's also got Defoe in it. And a great array, a great cast of actors. So, LZ, let's go, man. With that Squirtle profile pic, I can't wait. Can't wait. Fubo TV says, can you review my streaming service? Is this the actual Fubo TV? I don't know if it is. It probably isn't. Maybe it is. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I'll do it. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Give paranormal series rating from 0 to 10. Well, you can check out my review and I'll give you that specific score, but I will say it's more good than bad. It's more good than bad, but my full review, you'll get my score. And I say that because I can't remember which number I ended up on. Actually, I do. So I will say it's over a 6. That's what I'll say. And that's in the review. But yeah, it's definitely something to watch. Let's keep going here, guys. Let's see if you guys had any worst Jim Carrey performances. Let's see. His worst performances are his best performances. I like that. That's a funny way to look at it. Let's see. If you watch the show Brooklyn Nine-Nine, just kind of wrapping up here, guys. We've went over, but we're going to wrap up and make sure we don't get any more super chats, because if we do, we'll stick around. Have you watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Yes. Love it. Love it. I was late to the ball game, but really love that show. Will Warner Brothers ever be going to make Batman movies with Ben Affleck? I don't think so. I think Flashpoint is kind of the way for them to, push him out in a good way. In a good way. I think it's going to be a beautiful ending, but I'm an Affleck fan. A Ghost Story. Yeah, man, that's definitely up there. A24 for me. A24. Oh my gosh. I love that movie. The experience that I had, it's called the Kentucky Theater. Very artistic. It's where they do actual stage plays, but they just pull down a projector. That experience will never be replicated for me. I think A Ghost Story is a wonderful movie. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Number 23 is his worst movie. I agree with that, unfortunately. Fun with Dick and Jane performance was pretty bad. Yeah, he wasn't as good. I don't think it's his worst, but yeah, that's definitely a good choice. Let's keep going here, guys. Favorite comic book character of all time? It's boring. It's probably Batman, but Captain America movie-wise is my favorite. Let's do a rando comic book character that I love. I was a big fan of Black Lightning for a while. X-Men wise, I like Cannonball. I don't think he was exquisitely done in New Mutants, but I'm a big Cannonball fan. I also really like someone like a Dr. Fate. That's why I'm really excited for Black Adam, because JSA, Dr. Fate, and Hawkman. Yeah, let's go. Bring out some of those random ones. And man, I can't. The Question, I believe his name is The Question DC. If you guys watch the Justice League animated series, he has no face. I think that's his name, is The Question. I love that character, especially in that show. My goodness. I think Jim Carrey's worst film was Dumb and Dumber 2. I might agree with that, but he wasn't that bad in the film. I agree with you. Yeah, number 23, Dumb and Dumber 2. Karen says, when's the next Film Strippers episode with Chris? Yeah, 3C and I have been slacking in that channel. We've both just been so busy, and I was out of town, and he's been busy with a couple of things, but we're definitely going to do one hopefully this week. We planned on doing one Friday, but we both just got so busy, man. I know it sounds, silly, but keeping up with the YouTube channel is a lot of work. I'm going to try to roll through these guys. I know I said we were going to wrap up, but just so many good questions. Thoughts on Clash and Wrath of the Titans? Kind of enjoyed Clash. Didn't really like Wrath. Have you seen classic art house movies like works of Akira Kurosawa? Oh, yes. Bergman, of course. Sorry, I'm really not educated in film. Would love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, I'm planning on actually, funny enough, doing a classic films that I've never talked about, maybe my top 10 favorite classic movies. But for that, I need to rewatch Samurai and all these movies that I haven't seen in quite a while. I did rewatch Godfather recently. Plan on rewatching Godfather 2. Someone says I did miss a super chat, though. Let me make sure. Uh-oh, Jonathan. Got to go back, Jonathan. Here we go. Did I miss you? Well, Jonathan's gone. He's disappeared. So, Jonathan, I know I missed you, my friend, but I can see you on my other screen. So, Jonathan, let's see. Let me describe his profile picture. He has a hat on and a beard. And I don't know what the hat says. I can't necessarily see it. But I can't put him on screen because my program won't let me anymore. Thank you for letting me know in the chat, guys. Jonathan says, what are your thoughts on the Fast and the Furious franchise? Feels like it's gotten weird, I assume, and very over the top. So yeah, Fast and the Furious is interesting to say the least. It's gotten crazy over the top. I'll tell you what, though, Jonathan, with the hat and the beard, because you can't see it. Well, you're the one that said that. Look, see, there's Jonathan. Y'all can see him now. Let's see. I like the Fast and Furious franchise. I do as a whole. I think it's fun. It's just not one of my favorites. There are plenty of movies within that I'm not a huge fan. I actually, the first 3 movies, I think there are some good things. There's some good things, but as a whole, it's just like, yeah, it's just another franchise. And then they kind of revamped that, especially with the 5th one. 5 and 6 and 7. They kind of revamped the entire franchise. 8 for me. I'm like, yeah, 8's fine. So as a whole, I like it. I like what they're doing. I kind of like the fact that they're over the top, but sometimes it's just rinse and repeat almost. So we'll just have to see how it continues to go. I'm not a massive fan, but I think they've done some good stuff with that franchise for sure. So thank you to Jonathan, and I'm glad I found you because now you're on screen. I appreciate that. Paul Joseph says, I am a fan of Uncut Gems ending. Oh, as am I. Let's see. Oh, man, I can't do this. This is too tough. I love the question, but it's so tough. Rank Wes Anderson, Edgar Wright, Taika Waititi. I can't. That's so hard. I mean, gosh, guys, that's tough. I mean, how do you not put Edgar Wright at the top with Shaun of the Dead and that trilogy being one of my favorites of all time? How do you not put Taika Waititi at the top with Jojo Rabbit and What We Do in the Shadows and Thor Ragnarok, with just a plethora of genres? And then Wes Anderson, one of the, if not the greatest artistic director of our time. I can't do it. I'll have to think about it. I got to sit down and scheme out all the movies. But gosh, what a great question. Yeah, you all can do it. More power to you. Have you watched Lovecraft Country? Yes, I was able to watch and review the first 6 episodes. That video is on my channel. Past that, I did finish it. My thoughts stayed the same. I liked the series. I think there were a couple episodes that didn't work, but the ones that worked were awesome. So as a whole, I think the show was really good. But you can check out my review of the first 6 episodes way back when. Robert says Wright is probably the best, then Taika, then Wes Anderson. Man, that's tough. I mean, more power to you for ranking those, because those are just 3 fantastic directors. I want to flex on my friends. Which movie should I tell them to watch? Well, it's according what kind of friends you got. Some movies that I've recommended lately that have worked really, really well is, if you want a good coming-of-age story, Sing Street. I'm going to keep saying it, Sing Street. I recommended Ford v. Ferrari to a couple of friends recently. They're kind of like, they're like the guys, right? The guys, they like these kind of action movies, some good character stories, kind of some manly films. I hate using that, but some manly films. So Ford v. Ferrari, I think, is a great recommendation. If you want something more upbeat and entertaining, I also recommended Knives Out. They really enjoyed that movie. And then from this year, I think Palm Springs is a great comedy to recommend. In terms of beyond that, from this year, most of the movies that are in my top you haven't seen yet. A good sci-fi movie is Invisible Man. It's according on what kind of friends you have. They're going to say, come on, this looks silly. And then they're going to watch it and they're going to say, all right, pretty cool sci-fi movie. So those are some recommendations for me. It's according on what kind of friends you've got. But there you go. Says, okay, not answering me. Listen, Muff. Listen, I can't see all the questions. I get whatever I see, I'm clicking on because it just send them really quick. So maybe ask it again. I'll keep an eye out for you. But I am not choosing to not answer anyone unless they're saying mean things. Then I don't answer. Yagi says, how do you reach to studios for screeners? Well, it's a lot easier now because I'm on Rotten Tomatoes. Before that, it was tough. It was tough. A lot of Googling. Google search for, people involved with a specific movie, but they also have to work for the studio, and then you send them an email, but they have to verify you. So you have to be verified, whether it's a website or a YouTube channel or whatever. I'm glad they take YouTube more serious now. They have to verify you before they send you a screener. But if you can get that, then I definitely think you've got a shot to receive a screener or multiple screeners. And film festivals and stuff as well. It's been, a lot of people have had some good opportunities to watch some good movies this year. And maybe that's due to the pandemic, but yeah. Oh, yeah, you can't go wrong with Whiplash. One of my top movies of all time. I agree with that. You can't go wrong with Whiplash. That is number 5, number 6 for me of all time. I just love that movie so much. We got a super chat, so we're going to keep going here. I don't want to miss any super chats. So we got Carpenter's Alien, Ridley Scott's The Thing. So I got to choose one. We do the director swap. So Ridley Scott directing The Thing, John Carpenter directing Alien. It's hard to recreate both. I don't hate the idea of John Carpenter doing Alien. I think Ridley Scott doing The Thing, I don't know. Man, they're so similar. They're such similar movies. I'm going to go Carpenter's Alien. I would be interested to see maybe his take on that movie, but switching things up a little bit, more Carpenter-esque elements. But that's a tough switch, man, because those are two very, very similar movies. Muff says, okay, what do you think about Car Wash as a classic movie? Have I seen Car Wash? I don't think I've seen Car Wash, man. Let's see. No, I haven't seen Car Wash. Wow, 88 on Rotten Tomatoes. No, I have not seen that. So 1976. Good cast. Screenplay by Joel Schumacher. Yeah, there we go. Schumacher. We were talking Schumacher because unfortunately he passed away recently. But writing, I think in terms of writing, he was a pretty good writer. So haven't seen it, Muff. I haven't seen Car Wash, but got a pretty high score. So I can't say it's a classic personally, but it's got some good reviews for sure. Do you think It 2 was disappointing? So I actually didn't hate It 2. I kind of liked it. But yeah, I do. When you compare it to the first one, I think It 2 was maybe a little disappointing. Unfortunately, just watched Nightcrawler for the first time last night. While I really enjoyed it, I think it's a tad bit overrated. Yeah, it's a very specific kind of movie. So I love Nightcrawler. I'm a huge fan of that film. So I won't say it's overrated. But it's a very specific kind of film that you kind of have to be in the mood for to watch. And it's more performance-based from Jake Gyllenhaal. So I would understand why you didn't love it. But I'm a huge fan. All right, guys, let's do one more since I'm 12 minutes over. Like I said I would be. Barring any super chats, let's do one more question. By the way, if you guys sent me any Streamlabs, let me make sure that I didn't get a Streamlabs. Okay, we're good. And of course, if you guys have been tuning in or are just now tuning in and you want to leave this video a like, I truly appreciate that. I just appreciate you guys showing up on this Sunday. And by the way, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Crazy things happening around the world. Some people angry, some people happy, but I just want to say I'm glad you guys can come to this channel. We can talk about movies, let loose a little bit, have some good conversations, discussions, and I am just a massive fan of what you guys are doing for this channel. I really am. So let's do one more question after this very specific Star Wars question from Derek, who says, do you think Kanan will appear as a Force ghost? The slightest of chance gives me hope. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I would like more. I would like more Rebels involvement in this live action. I know we're already getting it with Ahsoka, but man, I just really, really love that character and love everything about Rebels. So, yeah, great question. Noah says, "Go Steelers, 7-0, maybe 8-0. If we lose today, y'all ain't gonna see me for about 2 weeks, so it's not gonna be good." All right, let's keep going here, guys. Last question. Man, they're moving. I just gotta click on one. Let's see. All right, I like this. This is different. McLovin says, before we do that, Cabbage Man says, I watched Trial of Chicago 7. The ending was so good. What would you think about it? It's very crowd pleasing. But I like the ending. It's very specific. Not everyone's gonna like it, but I like it. If you had to have dinner with Hans Landa or Anton Chigurh, who would you choose? Oh my goodness. So Hans from oh my gosh, guys, I don't know. Oh gosh, let's see. Let me go real quick and let's see if we can throw in another villain in this. No, let's just keep it between these two. Okay. So, man, I don't know. Cause man, that's tough. From Inglourious Bastards and then No Country for Old Men. Well, we know what happened with Hans at the end. Okay? So, but he's just so freaking intimidating. He's so intimidating all throughout the movie. But then you got Anton Chigurh. And Anton Chigurh is like one of those characters that when he's behind you, even if he's not making a sound, you know he's behind you. You know what I mean? Like he's just, it's almost like Michael Myers. That's like the comparison I want to make. So, man, gosh, guys, I'm probably going to go with Hans because I just like the way that he talks. Was that good? Was that a good impression? And both are two of the greatest performances of our time in terms of villainous performances. I mean, you've got Inglourious Bastards, which is one of Tarantino's best movies, and you've got No Country for Old Men, which is one of, I believe, Coen Brothers, I think their best movie. I would say Hans Landa because Chigurh, just the idea of that voice talking to me. I can't, man. That would freak me out. So I got to go Hans Landa. What a question. What a way to end it off, man. What Hans Landa would at least offer some truth with cream. I love that. I love that so much. Let's see. Yeah, McLovin, it's a hard one. We got one more super chat from Tyler before we end off, man. Which Doctor Who episodes have you seen before? Oh, man, it's random. I've seen about every era, at least one or two. Fire and Ice, going to sleep, by the way. Good night, Fire and Ice. At least one or two from each era. And it's really hard to point out my favorite. What's played the Purple Man and Jessica Jones? What's his name? Let's see. Make sure I get his name right before I botch it. Why can't I think of his name? The Purple Man actor. I think he may be my favorite. Yeah, David Tennant. I just love David Tennant so much. So of the Doctor Who that I've seen, that has been the best. Obviously you got Matt Smith and you got all these other ones, Peter Capaldi, but I would say David Tennant has been the best Doctor Who that I've seen. But I am not a huge Doctor Who watcher. It's just I watch random when we get them here and there. But they've really nailed it with the casting. I haven't watched the recent, I'd say past two iterations. But overall, I think they nail it with the casting. But let's make sure, guys, we don't have any more super chats. Want to make sure we didn't miss anybody who helped support the channel today. Let me go through here. Yeah, I think we're good. Hey, thank you guys again for joining, for leaving this video a like, getting it up there. Well, I see we've passed 100. That is awesome. And I want to make sure I get your comments on screen as we're going. So say your goodbyes, anything you want to say. Man, I love these. I love these. Sunday, I think, is the best day of the week. I get some football games, get some great conversations with you all. And Muff says, watch Car Wash. You will love it. I promise. Yeah, I do. That is one that I think the ratings are good enough to where it kind of pushes me in a good direction. 6 hours later. You're right, man. I just love it. You guys just asked the best questions. So, all right, y'all. I'm going to play off as I always do. Thanks again. Big time. Stay tuned for some great reviews this week. Freaky, Hillbilly Elegy, maybe Mank. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. And some fun videos. That streaming service video that I've been promising for about 2 months now, I think that's coming this week as well. So thanks again, guys. I'm going to play your comments. Be sure to leave them. And I'm going to go watch some football. Here we go, Steelers. We'll see. Anything with the Joker. Ooh, and Mask of the Phantasm. Okay, I said I would stop. I'm sorry.